Welcome back to the Screen Team, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Sabrina J, and I'm here joined today by some fantastic ladies. I have Brandy and Amber joining us. Brandy, you've been here a couple of times now. Amber, you're making your debut on the Screen Team.
First time.
Are you excited?
Excited, yes. Super pumped.
This is so cool to have on All Ladies Show because Chris is usually doing this thing, and I love bumping him out of the way and saying, I need to take over for just a moment. So really cool opportunity to do this one. We've got on today's show, we've got the Pirates of the Caribbean, we've got La La Land and Lights Out, and we're on the La La Land segment. Super stoked to have you guys in here to get your opinion. And I know that you love award-winning movies, and you love, Amber, finding out why they're award-winning. And so you told me one time you search out where you can find the movie if it doesn't come here to Poplar Bluff.
Yes, I have driven miles and miles to see Oscar-nominated movies when they don't come. I have been known to take off work to drive to St. Louis or drive to Cape just to see a movie.
That is awesome. That is a true passionate person there. I love that. Brandy, you have a passion for music.
I do.
And good singing, especially.
I can appreciate some good music.
I have a passion for theater. So the three of us together should be able to give a really great review of La La Land. So let's do it. Let's talk about this movie. Amber, you got to actually see it before Brandy and I did, so I'm going to let you go first. Tell us what you love and what you hated about La La Land.
Okay, so I was so excited that it came to Poplar Bluff. I didn't think it was going to, and then all of a sudden it was here, and I was so excited.
Showed up. Yeah.
So immediately I was like, I have to go see it now before it goes away. And so I'd heard really good things about it. My sister-in-law had already seen it twice. And so I was like, wow, this must be really good. I knew it was nominated for all of the stuff. So I was really excited. I love the people in it to begin with. So I was excited they were in it. I love musicals. And I really liked the movie.
Yay!
Something like that. It's a little bit, I'm like, I'm not sure. How are they going to pull this off? These aren't like musical people, but I think they really pulled it off. I thought it was beautiful. Oh my gosh, it was so beautiful. The costumes were great. The choreography was great. The story was great. But there was a little bit of stuff that I thought was kind of weird. I mean, there were some kind of montage scenes that I wasn't like quite into.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, the whole like Getty Museum thing I could have lived without. But overall, I thought it was really good. I wasn't like, oh my gosh, this is the best movie I've ever seen. I can't believe it was so incredible. But I thought it was a solid, good movie.
Is it one that you would add to your collection? Would you buy the movie, or would you just be like, I can watch it on video anytime?
Yeah, this is definitely a movie that I would watch again, that I would tell other people to see.
Okay, sure. Brandy, now let's hear your side of things.
So when I first started seeing the trailers for this movie, I didn't realize it was a musical. So it wasn't until it got close to actually coming out that I was like, oh my gosh, how did I miss this? How did I miss it? That's like a pivotal part of this. So then obviously, since I have musical background, like, it piqued my interest that much more. And of course, I love Ryan Gosling. Like, I watched The Notebook on repeat like 10 times a day when I was pregnant. So I'm just addicted to him anyway. And she's just adorable. Emma's just adorable. So anyway,
so we got Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone as our main characters.
I mean, is there anyone who doesn't love Ryan Gosling?
Me, really? I'm not a fan of Ryan Gosling.
Oh my gosh, I love him.
I should say I wasn't.
Oh
yes. There's another good reason that Chris Berger's not in the room right now, because he knows how much I despise any movie that features Ryan Gosling.
Eating crow, huh?
I was gaga over Ryan Gosling in this movie, and yeah, I'm gonna have to eat some major crow on this.
I have to say, when the opening number, I thought the film was gonna be cheesy. I enjoyed it, but through the opening number with the dancing on the cars, like, I love musicals, but they're one of those things that's either it's really good or it's really bad. Like, Chicago was good, and Rent was good, and Moulin Rouge, and like, there's some really solid ones that I really liked, and there's some that I'm just like, no, that was really poorly done. But the opening number, I was like, this might be kind of slow for me. And then fast forward just past that, and you see him, her flip him off in the car, and I was like, oh wait, this is spicier than I thought it's going to be. So this is okay.
They didn't do that back in the 30s and 40s and 50s and 60s when they were doing all these big musicals, right?
It caught me by surprise, and the deeper the story went got involved, I was totally absorbed. Sobbed like a baby. Sobbed my makeup off a couple of times. Loved it. The score was beautiful. I thought the way that they balanced out some of the the classic music with just the jazz and the show tunes, it was just beautifully done, really beautifully done. The costumes, like you said.
Well, and there's a reason that they're going to release it in IMAX.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a reason.
It's meant to be enjoyed on the big
color
screen.
is just so vibrant. And
It is truly a spectacle to see.
It's an event, yeah.
Yes, it is something that should be seen and appreciated in a theater, or at least on a very large home screen. This is normally we would say, do you want to wait and rent this, or do you want to see it in the big screen? I mean, if you have an opportunity to see this movie in big screen, any format, take it at least once. And then add it to your collection so you can just enjoy the movie on your own home theater system.
Yeah, this is definitely a see in the theater movie.
It's a movie about two young people living the life of dreamers in Hollywood.
Yeah.
And he's a jazz pianist. She is an aspiring actress. And they both have their day jobs, and they're both struggling to remember what their dream really is. And that's hers is to become a famous movie actress, and his is to have his own club and keep jazz alive. And she stops in the middle of the street and says, "I hate jazz." And you could just like, wait, what?
Yeah. And so I totally feel you, girl.
he has to convince her that jazz is amazing, and he makes a believer and a lover out of her for the music. But something happens along the way. They fall in love.
Yeah.
And then he boosts her energy and says, "You need to follow your dream." And so she writes a play, and 5 people show up to see it, and it breaks her heart, and he breaks her heart because he took a job at a band, and next thing you know, they're living separate lives. And so the finale of the movie is unbelievably accurate.
Yeah.
And that's
that's
to me, that's really hard to take, but it's what we need to take away from this movie. And I'm not going to give it away, but I am going to say it's real. It's so real to be slapped in the face with reality, and at the same time realize that we as people a lot of times give up on our dreams the way we imagine them when we were kids. She goes back home and she's looking at her walls and her trophies and her old program books, and I was sitting there in the theater going, I know that pain.
Yes.
I know how that feels. I go to my grandmother's and I see my trophies and I'm like, oh, how did I get so far away from what I really wanted to do when I was a kid?
Yeah.
Well, life takes us away from those things, those fantasies, and sucks the life out of them. But you know what? This movie made me want to go find a theater really bad and be like, I gotta find time for this. And then, I'm gonna get home here in a little bit and I'll be like, oh yeah, I've got a 3-year-old. Oh yeah, I've got a husband. I got a real job. And you know what? It'll probably suck it right back out of me again. But inside, there's still that little girl that says, you were meant to do big things.
Well, one thing I really, really liked about it and appreciated about the movie is that it was, I really like movies that make me feel heavy emotion.
Yeah.
And it was heartbreaking without being some contrived tragedy.
Yes.
It was heartbreaking, but at the same time so sweet. So you felt like that heavy, like, sadness emotion, but then you also felt like happy at the same time. And so I really liked that.
And they didn't suck that out of you in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
No.
You think they might, but they don't.
Yeah.
It's just so real. It's a nostalgic movie that is so currently real. That's all I can say to actually truly wrap it up. So you loved it, Amber?
Yeah, I loved it. I was a little confused at points.
Yeah.
Because the scenery and the costuming and,
like what
it was
period
all very
was it?
I was like,
Where
is
did
this
this take
set
place?
in modern times, or is this like in the 60s?
No, it's set in California time.
Which is all of them all together.
It took me a little bit to be like, okay, when is this?
Like she puts the head bonnet on and they got the little dresses. So, okay, well, that's how California looks.
Yeah.
Right.
And so I think maybe the point was they were trying to make it a very nondescript time. Like it could be any time.
He drove an old car.
Yeah.
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 But she drove a Prius.
Right.
I mean, I think it's truly a nod to saying, hey, you don't have to be from that era to appreciate what that era did for theater, for movies, and for the big screen.
Yeah.
And everything that you hear and see on the award shows is this movie beat all odds. 6 years they were working on getting this movie on the screen and never really truly believed, I guess, that it would win all these awards. And I think that the audience is thirsty for something new and beautiful that is so reminiscent of stuff that we missed out on. Generations and generations of people have been missing out on this. I think it's wonderful.
I think it was great. I've always thought that, men wearing hats and ties and women in dresses, that needs to come back. Like some of the classic things that I was totally born in the wrong generation to experience. Yeah, it was a beautiful movie.
Okay, well, that is La La Land. We've got Amber and Brandy. Thank you so much for joining me for today's show. You're listening to the Screen Team on today's Talk 930 KWOC.